Hey everybody, if you're catching this on a replay, just skip ahead like a minute. You don't have to see me getting all of those set up while I'm letting Facebook notify people that I'm live and they can pop on to see me. I hear you, Lou. Lucy has become a fixture in the craft room. I'm not quite sure what her deal is lately, but she likes to come in here and whine, and you'll often see her in the back of my videos. When we inked the shirt the other night, I realized when I took a look at the video afterwards that she was over there sniffing the shirt, which thankfully she didn't get any ink on her. But I was trying to get my stuff a little prepped, a little more prepared than normal. Let me refresh. Tonight I'm going to do two different things. So they have little cutouts, and there's some bird ones, so I'm going to do those. Kind of like an idea for my Mother's Day and see if Mom likes them or not. And then I have this cheap little chalk sign that I believe I got at Dollar Tree. It's like two-sided. It's kind of like fake chalkboard, so not really one you can reuse it with chalk, but it just leaves like, you could see what was written on it before. But I'm going to do a little more things with the birds on it and make like a no soliciting unless you got cookies kind of thing on it for a little hanging sign. So those are kind of the two ideas that I have for tonight that I'm going to work on. And then, Mom, if you do watch this, then I think, I might just let you pick through the things that you want. And hopefully you'll like them. All right, now I don't always see all the comments. I have no idea why I see some comments and not others. But I did get out my, Shimmer Splash, which is like a dark blue glitter for one of the birds. Almost like a little Bluebird. And then I've got my Candy Apple Red, which is for a cardinal, and my mom loves yellow birds, so I'm going to do those on this sign with the no soliciting and stuff. Hopefully they'll like that for their front door. So I've got my blues and my reds. I'm going to open my package. So the birds come in a 2-pack, and actually quite a few people have taken them and glued like a wooden dowel to the bottom so you can like perch them on things, so I can eventually put them essentially like on dowel in like a bucket of flowers or something like that, and then they'll pop up and stand out. It looks really cute like that, but they're two-sided. The stencils allow you to do two-side, and they even got cute little wings that you can attach to give like a 3-dimensional thing. They're so cute. Nice and smooth too. Right, and it's just the package it came in, which I'll toss. And it even comes with like little stickers on it. Basically they are to help you like stick the wings on nice and easily when you get done. So we'll see how well those work. They've got 2 different sides that are sticky on them, so we'll see. I've not used those yet before, but they seem to work. And of course my eraser was pretty much had it, so I'm tossing it. I could get more use out of it, but I'm going to go for a nice new eraser tonight to clean my stuff with. They're not expensive, and a nice new eraser does make a difference. And some people even use 2 different erasers. One when you're cleaning something that has glitter on it. It does glitter sticks to everything. And another when you're just using regular paste colors or ink colors. I tend not to be that picky, but when I don't, because I don't do it, then I'm like, oh man, they do have a point. Probably should do that. So I am going to cut these out. So you've got small bird, one for each side, different designs. So it gives a little feel to it. And then each wing has a little bit different design. And I can either repeat them or not. It's an option. And I am just going to, for the red one, I'm going to use my chalk paste to paint the birdie red, and then I'm going to put white chalk paste on it for the front to see how it pops out. And then for the blue, I was trying to decide. I think I'm going to do the opposite, because the blue is the glitter, so the glitter will really pop on the words. But I'm going to paint the red first, so that can dry while I'm doing the other one. When you're doing chalk on top of chalk, you want to make sure that it's nice and dry before you do the next step, or you could end up peeling the layer of chalk underneath. So sometimes people will use like a hair dryer or a little heat tool just to make sure that things are dry. Usually I'm on my live, so I would do something like that. Otherwise, I'll just like get up, go take a break, go do something like laundry or something, and come back and it's all dry, and I'll continue working on my next project. All right, toss my bag to the side. And okay, so hello, Melissa. Tonight I'm doing birds and like a no soliciting sign with a little bird transfer on it too. And maybe Mom will like it for Mother's Day. We'll see. Since that is this Sunday. My candy apple red I've had for over a year now. It's the old paste formula, and you can see the old paste formula can look a little clumpy like chalk if you were to water it down, where the new paste formula is nice and creamy. So they do not make this old stuff anymore. They stopped making this, honestly, almost a year ago. So when I had gotten it with some old stuff, and then they call this the creamy dreamy formula because it's literally like Cool Whip. It just so nice and smooth. But I don't want to waste the red paste that I have left. So I mean, you can always rehydrate it, because that's what I did, because it's like a year old, and then you just add a little distilled or bottled water, stir it up until it gets to that like creamy consistency again, and then it's good to use. In this case, because I'm going to paint the bird red, I'm actually going to water it down even more on a side tray and use it as paint, which is another thing you can do. So I'm just going to take a little bit of red, toss it in here, which I probably used too much in there. It's a little, actually goes a long way. All right, and if needed, I could add more. But then you just add a little bit of water, and then you need a brush. Any kind of brush will do. You can usually get a couple packs of them at the store for like $1 less. So it's just like watered down paint. But it's chalk paste, so it will erase. And I'm just going to paint my bird red. Some people just do the side. I like to do even the edges, because like you can see on my deer, you can see at the top I did the edges, so the brown, so it carried over, and the white is actually chalk paste. The brown is actually chalk paste. Like if you look at the legs, you can see the white in there. I don't like the white look. I like it when it matches. I'm a matchy person. I don't mind it too much on the legs because the legs are down there. But when I go and do the other side, which I have not done yet for this deer, I will fill in the legs at that time. This was something quick that I did for Christmas. So I do have some of those deer. They don't carry them anymore, but I do still have some. And then you've got the bigger buck, which is the same. I did the top, but I hadn't done the legs yet. I kind of wanted to see what the difference was going to look like for them, to see how I'd like it. There is even still, of course, there's the jar cutout, something new. They're nice, thick, heavy duty, sturdy. They stand up on their own. And I do still have some hearts left. There's even houses. They're just in the shape of houses. So, all right, so let me get this painted. All right. And the nicer thing about painting out with chalk paste is because it's just watered down chalk, it's much easier to get off your hands and stuff when you make a mess. And you can be like less worried about making a mess because of that. I don't worry about it if I get it on the table. And I'm just putting on, not putting it on thick, just going over the white. You can even sand these down and they get more of a wooden look where the white starts to come off. Gives it a nice rustic feel. Just depends on like what you like the looks of. Some people just go for plain black and white. There's no right or wrong, whatever you like. I know I can hear something outside. I'm not quite sure what it is, but 2 days ago, the street sweeper woke me up at 3:59 a.m. on Main Street in Norwood. I don't know what the hell they were doing out there. It was really loud and slow, and I saw the flashing lights. I'm like, oh crap, like what's going on? Yeah, that's all it was. The street sweeper. All right, so I'm just going to set this to the side because I'm still going to need to use more from the tail, and I'm just going to use a wipe to like clean my fingers up. So I'm just going to toss my little stir stick in my water bucket. Not quite sure. Yeah, you can't see the water bucket. So while I'm letting my little cardinal buddy dry, while I'm letting him dry, I'm going to go ahead and get the little bird. So get the big bird and the little bird. And I'm going to label it. So this is a small flower, small words. And I'll hold it up so you can see it. And of course they have a little feather with them. I just got a little bit of chalk paste on there. Doesn't hurt anything. Okay, so I'm also going to taking out the little wing so I can do my little wing separately. And I might do my wing in a different color. I don't know. I'll have to figure that out. So I've got my two little small wings. My other little, so this one wing has like a feather look on it. The other one is just more or less a plain wing. But it has like a little bit of dots in it to give you like a little texture feeling. All right. So the hardest part of doing these ones, I don't fuzz them because the wording area, like this outside area, normally on a chalkboard, it'll stick down. So when I go to do the chalkboard part, I will fuzz it. But for the bird fits on it perfectly. So I don't really need to do that. The hardest part is lining up the bird with the stencil. So I'm going to pull it off. And then I'm going to go ahead, oops, a little bit, like a little red dot on that. Oh, that's weird. Oh, and I got a little red from my cloth on there. Much better. Okay. Alright, so yeah, now I'm going to start with the other side. While that dries. Alright, so I just use, if you have like a light, you can put it on top of the light. I just kind of eyeball it from up top. And then I hold it up to the light to make sure I got it. But because it's a mesh, you can see the white underneath. I mean, it fits the bird like perfectly. Here, birdie. And then when I smooth it down, there's only a little bit of area that's actually, see, most of the thick stuff on the outside is not touching the bird. But you can see the inside, so you can see how I lined it up with the bird, and the entire white area is covered. Okay. And then I'm just going to put paste on it like normal. And that one is almost dry to the touch. But I need to get my blue that's underneath it. Okay, so this is my blue shimmer. The shimmers have glitter in them. And this one tipped on its side, so we go ahead and just scoop that back in the jar. And just because it tipped on its side, I'm going to use a little thing to like, so it doesn't fall out anymore. Okay, so I'm just going to hold this up and do the paste over it just like normal. And then I'll peel it off so we can see the design is flowers. So all of the green areas are going to remain white. All the white areas are going to become blue. So it's going to cover quite a bit of the bird. So it's going to look like a bluebird with white flowers on it. Alright, so let's see. Not going to need a lot. You just have to be careful when you're getting close to the edge because it's not flat. But you also want to make sure that you get the edge. And then I'll decide with this afterwards if I want to paint the white of the bird on the top and bottom on the edges. See how it looks. And I'm just going to look up close to it to make sure I got all of the areas. It appears I did. Get my excess paste out of the way. I'm feeling on my fingers, but alright, so a little peel reveal. So I'll hold it up so you guys can hopefully see what it is. And hopefully it looks good because you can see it and I can't. I'm just peeling it right up. Oh, awesome. So you can, hopefully you can see the blue sparkles from the blue splash, shimmer splash, which was last year's summer color. It really does look like nice dark pool water. I'm going to toss this in the water so that it can start to get that glittered stuff off. And then my hand towel. So I've got my little birdie. And I'm going to wait for this. So I'm going to let this dry and set it to the side. Then I'm going to do the other side in blue again with this. Unless somebody voices an opinion that I should do it like in a different color, like yellow or something maybe. This guy he is pretty, well, almost dry. I'm just going to touch him up in a little bit of areas. Little areas that I didn't get. So there's, of course, there's ridges in it. Because it's wooden, you could, I probably should have waxed it. I don't know, Melissa, do you usually wax your birds and stuff when you do them? I guess I didn't pay attention to what other people, if other people were waxing stuff or not. I know with my houses and my hearts, I always did. I don't know, I guess I was thinking of the birds a little differently. Right, oh, got almost all the bird here. And I'm glad I put some of that chalk paste back in the jar because I did not need all the stuff that I took out of it. Right. This guy is done. Let's see if he's going to balance. Close enough. Close enough. All right. So, trying to decide. I want to make sure that before I do the other side of this one, I want to make sure that this is really dry. And I don't have my heat tool out. And I don't feel like digging it out with my halo either. Because that will take a while. So, these both definitely need to dry. So I'm going to set them to the side to dry, and then I'll do this one in the meantime. I'm going to put them back here, and hopefully Lucy stays off of here. For some reason, my finger's touching it. There we go. All right. My fingers touched where it was wet. So I just need to make sure that my side is good. Probably shouldn't have worried about the edges too much because I can always do that afterwards. I just want to get the bulk of it on. Alright, I'm going to hit refresh on my video. Refresh. Making a little bit of a mess with the red. Just a little bit. Right. So, my little old dirty washcloth that's been used so many times, I'm going to go ahead and clean this off, this blue one, so it'll be dry when I go to use it again. And just put my eraser in the water so it makes it easy. And it's glittery, so. And likely you can still see a little bit of glitter on it because glitter sticks everywhere. I'm not quite sure why they use white for erasers because obviously they get dirty really fast. And you can see that it is dirty. I mean, it cleans up pretty well, but I think I'll show you this one. So after I just put it in my water bucket and rinse it a little bit. I mean, it's mostly clean, but I don't know. I get picky about stuff like that, I guess. All right. Let's see. Oh, okay. See, I see Stacy's thing now. So, which bird did you like? The blue one, the red one? I'm going to put a little yellow one on this guy. And I think I'll do yellow on here and I'll do yellow on the other side of the bird. Then we'll give her 2 color options. If someone doesn't like it, I can always take the color off with sandpaper and do it again in another color. So even though it's wood, you can always sand it down and redo it. There's always a way to redo it. Okay. Ooh. All right. So this one, I'm going to do a little birdie. So I'm just going to do a little birdie in the corner. And I'm going to fuzz this because this is a not so great surface. But I'm also going to take my wax and wax. So this is just a cheap dollar store surface. It's meant to look like a chalkboard. It even says chalkboard, but it's, as soon as you use it, even if you use like a little cheap chalk pen with soft chalk and you wipe it off, you're going to see ghosting. So you're going to see what's left over behind. The wax will help me deal with that better. In case I did decide it. But the nice thing about these is they are 2-sided and it was $1. Just put a little wax on. This is just more or less so I can remove stuff off it easier and not destroy my transfer, so I can make sure that I can use the transfer over and over again. So I'm definitely going to do the no soliciting. This one has got 5 different sayings that you can use. One is obviously the no soliciting. The others are thank you. I guess maybe for like a thank you, come again. And then there's a thanks, but no thanks. And then seriously, don't make it weird with a little line above it. So just depending on what you want. I mean, and honestly, I could do 2 no soliciting signs, 1 on each side, and you could just turn it, I guess she could just turn it around depending on what the attitude of the day is. And of course, you can add these to anything else. I love the snarky sayings. They're some of the best snarky sayings. So like last night's were when the liar's pants don't actually catch on fire. All right, so I've got the no soliciting. Oops. No soliciting, got the birdie. And then I think I'm going to throw down the unless you're selling cookies. Or thank you. Maybe all 3. I don't like choosing. Okay, so let's see. All right. So I'm going to put the bird on here. I'm actually going to put a couple different things on it. And then peel them off as I use them. So that we don't have to overlap so much. The little birdie will fit there, okay? I fuzzed it up so that I could easier to pull it up. And let me get the no soliciting on there. And I do fuzz these up a couple extra times because this is the first time I'm using them. I don't usually overlap them, but I'm trying to make it a little bit easier on myself and see where things line up. So we've got the little thank you at the bottom, but that's going to overlap it. So I think I'm just going to do the unless you're selling cookies at the very bottom. Just because I think it's cute. And for lint, I'm just picking up and pulling it back down. You can use anything. You can use an old shirt, so you can actually like put it on you, take it off. It's just picking up lint. That's the whole goal. Right, so, oh, actually I'm going to close up my blue so I don't forget. Each night I keep forgetting to close up my Clorox wipes. But I'm going to do a little Bluebird, but I'm going to do the text writing in white. So I'm going to need a couple of squeegees. And originally I was thinking of doing a big project because I love that angled squeegee. I do not know why everybody is not ranting and raving over that thing. They've talked about other ones, but I never really heard anybody talk about the angled one. I have seen quite a few designers take the big handled one. It's like bigger than an ice scraper. And take the handle off it to use it. But I'm like, why aren't they just using the angled squeegee? I don't think people realize how big that angled squeegee is. Alright, so I did the bird, and I'm going to pull the little birdie up. I'm going to do the wording first because they're really close. And if I pull up the birdie, the back of this sticky one might stick on the bird and pull that up, which I don't want to happen. So I'm going to grab a little half-cut mini squeegee. Actually, I'll just use my multi-tool. I'm getting much better with this thing. And I'm going to put white so it stands out nice. I tend to like the lighter, brighter colors on the dark background. But there are also white backgrounds. And of course, I could have taken the inside of this, I could have painted the background any color. Could have done it in paint or chalk paste. I still would have been waxing it, so. And just taking all the extra stuff up. Alright, so I'm going to pull off these up. The cookies. And then the little birdie. So that's what the little bird with a black background looks like. Let me see if this blue is dry now, so I'm going to stick it down. And I should clean it before I reuse it, but I'm going to test it out and see if I can actually reuse it without doing that. I better not. I know better. I know better. Okay. And then I think I'm going to do the no soliciting in yellow so it stays brighter. It stands out. Probably could have gotten to my... Okay, one of these nights I'm going to have to go through like all the different squeegees and show you the different ones. I am so impressed with that angled squeegee. Sorry, I'm not going to shut up about it, I guess. Alright, so we've got... Oh, I missed a little spot on the top of the end. Some spots that you might miss are like right along the very edge of the letter. You may not notice it until you pull it up and then you got to put the transfer back down. So that's why it's good when you're pulling up a transfer, if you're using them, to go slowly because you can plop it right back down really quick. So I'm debating on whether or not I want to do yellow on that bird or more blue. I kind of want to do yellow. Kind of. You hear the squeaky noise is usually good. It means that it's still nice and sticky. Alright. So this one I washed is almost dry enough to use again. Almost. Okay, well, I may make sure that the red one is done. This, not completely dry in the middle. So usually when they dry, they start on the edge and work their way in. And I'm pretty sure I should have waxed it. Okay. All right. Put my little birdie there because my little birdie's still not dry enough. I do have my little wings I gotta put on. So let's see. For this guy, you can really do the wings. I guess I could angle the wings up if I wanted. I guess the wings are a good way too, like if you make a mistake, to cover it up. To stick it on. So, got the letters and the wings and the plain wings. So I think I'll do this little blue one plain, and I'm not going to fuzz it again just because it's going to be hanging over the edge anyways. And I'm not sure if you can see the little green dots in that. That will allow the white to show through for any color that you paint it or paste on it. Oh, this one's fun to line up because it doesn't have very much to stick to. Kind of feel like I'm manhandling it a little bit. Right. Silly me, is going to need my glue again. So I try not to get a habit of throwing my... At one point I kept throwing all my squeegees in as soon as I finished using them, not realize I was probably going to go back to a color. It's one way to clean a lot of squeegees without that you shouldn't have had to clean. Yeah, I guess these smaller ones are a little more tricky than I guess. I hadn't really thought about it. People make it look so easy. Melissa made it look so easy when she did these. So this is the first time I've done the bird cutouts. I've had them for a little while. So you can see the blue pretty much covered the whole thing except for a couple little white dot areas. And I'll end up setting it on top. But I want to do the other side in yellow to give it some variety. So I'll start off by doing the wing yellow first. If only you could see the mess I've got going over there. It's bad enough I see it. I will eventually show you my whole craft room, and not until it's somewhat clean and organized. Somewhat. And there's this cute little wing detail. Honestly, you could do both wings the same way. I just pasted it on the wrong side of the wing. I pasted it on the wrong side of the wing because I don't want the wing to be backwards. Well, I guess I could do it that way. I'll make it work. Oh, that's funny. So that appears pretty dry. I'm going to flip this over so I can do the words in yellow on this side. Hopefully it's dry enough. looks like it does have like a little bit of wetness to it. So I'm going to try to make sure I get any drops of water off there. Right. Time to dig in with the yellow. And my yellow is Bumblebee. We're part of Team B, which is like the biggest group. So they do actually have bee stuff quite a bit, and of course everybody in our group goes crazy for them. They haven't had like any kind of bee cutouts yet. I'm like just waiting for them to come out with that. Surprising they did the birds. They have bunnies too, which I have some extra bunnies left. Then they had a deal on the bunnies, and now the bunnies are gone. Right, so I'll show you my little peel and reveal. So, ready? That's my favorite part, seriously. So you can see because it's the yellow color, so you can see the little words and stuff on it, which is similar to the no soliciting sign. It's the same exact transfer, just a different way for looking at it. You've got the words on one, and I don't know if I'm holding this right. Okay. And then on this side of the bird, you can see the blue stuff. So I'm going to let this dry. I do love the little yellow. It's cute, and the blue. All right, so when I put this on a little, get my hot glue gun out and get a little dowel to stick it on, so I can put it like in flower buckets and stuff. It'll have two different looks depending on what angle you look at it, which is cool. Right. Right, time to check the cardinal, which feels dry. Got the little wings. I'm just gonna put them there out of the way so I don't mess them up. All right, so the cardinal's the bigger bird with the bigger wings. And let's see, I'm gonna cut these little wings out. Oops. Let's see, I didn't cut it and I like pulled it so you can kind of see the string in there. That's because it's got silkscreen running through the entire thing. So even the green areas that don't have a stencil part in them have silkscreen running through them. So you just trim it up just like you know, anytime you get a stray. So this and do my little wings. So I'm going to actually grab my, did I put it? No, I left it out. No, that's the regular white. I have my white frost. So shimmer frost, which is a glittery white. So I'm going to try to do that. I'm going to do the glittery white on one side, see how I like it. Because if I really do like it a lot, I'll put it on the other side. Since that one is like got glitter on one side and not on the other. And my shimmer frost is getting kind of low though, I believe. When I used it the other night. Not too bad. Paste does last quite a while. Like I said, it's like 15 paste packets to 1 jar. Just scoop it off the side because these jars were tilted sideways. What did to do with my lid? There it is. Okay. So, and then I'll use red paste on the wings to pop them on like that somehow. I think I might have the wings stick up like that. I mean, you could do them sideways, I guess, but yeah. All right, so let's do this side first, which is the flowers. Not gonna fuzz it. I'm gonna try to line it up, and I usually stand up so I can see and get it really good. It fits the birds, so if it's the cutout transfers are designed to fit them essentially perfectly. If you have I'll have to get out. I do have one of those lights where you can actually set things on top of it to line it up. I use it when I'm taking like different things. Like I had some old glass negatives that I transferred. I put the light underneath them and stuff like that. You can get one for fairly cheap on Amazon. And it's good for like doing crafting things and stuff too. So, time for another squeegee. So this is my white, or Shimmer Frost, which is essentially white glitter. So put some on here and spread it. And then we'll see how it looks when we get done. The Shimmer Frost looks great, especially at Christmas time when you're doing like snow and stuff. Usually it sells out at that time of year. Like this time of year you got the spring colors, but it gets used again a lot for like Memorial Day and 4th of July. So we do have star cutouts as well. And then they have like lots of stars and stripes and all kind of holiday stuff that people would like. Make sure I get, sometimes on these it's the edges that I want to make sure I get them really good. Alright, I'm going to show you, I'm going to hold it up so you guys can easily see the peel. Right. Nice. I'm not sure if I would have liked red on white better than white on red. It does have a different look to it than, I don't know. I think I'll do the other side in the regular white, just so I can see what the difference is. Because if I like one better than the other, I can always take it off. I'm not sure. You can see that well. So I painted the background in chalk. So I do need this to... Now I need my wings. Now I need my wings, which I'm just going to do in red. So that needs to dry. While I do these, I'm going to hit refresh again just in case. So I got my blues and my whites and my reds. So now I just need to decide if I want to, I think I'm just, since they're two-sided, I can decide. I can do it with red on the white background. See if I like how it looks. That probably would have been a good, smart way to start out. But that was not me. So let me get a little bit of red here. And... solid with the words or the dots. Let's see. I used a regular squeegee, mini squeegee on the small wings and a teeny tiny one on the big ones. That's kind of funny. Alright, so let's see how this wing looks. Oh, oops. Alright, so this is like a full red wing on it. Not quite sure. Not quite sure if I like the... I'm not quite sure if I like that. Try this one and see how this one looks. Nope, got a lot more stickiness to it. Oop. The nice thing about the transfer is you can stick and re-stick. So if you stick one down and you don't like how it's placed, just pull it up and move it over a little bit. Especially with the cutouts. It's just easier to do. I'm actually, because this is so small, I'm actually taking the flat areas and sticking it down at the table to hold it in place. It's working quite well. Wish I thought about that when I was doing the small wings. But again, you can learn from my mistakes. I do like these little polka dots. Cute. You know, at some point they did have a polka dot transfer, but I didn't have one of those. That's cute. Alright, so the two different wings are a solid wing and a little red, white dot one. The red is really making a mess tonight. It might just be me, but alright. I'll put you out of the way because you were definitely making a mess. So this is definitely not definitely not going to be dry enough. Yeah, still tacky. Still pretty tacky. All right. So mess. Pick up all my mess. I guess I could always mix and match the wings on the blue and yellow. I could put a blue wing on the yellow bird and a yellow wing on the bluebird. A little crafty doing that. What do you think? It. Yeah. I'm just iffy on the wings in general. It does give the texture to it. Right. Get over their wings. I'm going to use this little yellow. Alright, so let's put this on and see. I guess if I really hate it, I can take it off. This is, so it's got two little stickies on it. So the first thing is the sticky side for the back of the wing. And then you have a little white spot to peel off so that you can stick the wing to the bird. So I see I have that little sticky square. I took a little white off. And now we're just going to stick it on there. It was actually a lot easier than I thought it was going to be. So now I just need the blue wing. The blue wing's still tacky. So I am going to stick the blue wing on, just not until it's completely done. I'm going to set you aside here. And toss you in the garbage. Okay. So I do need a little something extra for there. So I've got to finish one side of my cardinal. Got those wings there. That's going to be the neighbor's vehicle across the way. Okay. So I do need a little something extra for this one because I don't like that plain space. Let's see if I can find something to put on there. Usually I will have flowers or something. Let's see. No. Okay. So in here, we have so many different little minis. Minis come in like in a pack of 12. So this one I like is like less Monday, more summer. That might be a good one. With a little pineapple. Pretty much every holiday has one. One of the most recent ones they came out with was travel related. So let's see. So there's one, Live Today in all caps. Home Sweet Home. It's a cute one. Of course, I have all the Halloween ones. There is a little bee one. Yes. These are all basically used ones that I've used. Before, all we had was like kind of like a little bird like that. He's kind of cute. I hope that's not my Jeep beeping. My alarm never gets set off. Oh, we have a butterfly one. What else? On the road. Don't be like the rest of them. Okay, so I have a whole bunch of them, and I have a whole bunch that are unused. So I've got either the little butterfly, the bee, the home sweet home, or the less Monday, more summer. I think I'll just do the home sweet home and see if she likes that. And then, of course, I've got the other side, which I haven't decided what I want to do on that yet. Those birds are taking me a while. All right, this is, I've used this several times before, but it is super sticky. Some of them just really, I guess some hold on to their stickiness more than others. Oh, that's Home Sweet Farm, not Home Sweet Home. That's all right. Let's see. And just do a different color, just to do a different color. I don't like to stick the same color. So when I pull this one off, you'll see this has got like some really nice fancy writing on it. Love it. And I can make my own stencils. I'm always coming up with ideas for one. Really need to like make a booklet of them. Because we're always thinking of cool, like fun t-shirt ideas. Toss it in the water. So I'll put this up just so you can see like how detailed some of the cute little ones are. The little Home Sweet Farm. I misread it first as Home Sweet Home, but honestly you could do tons of little ones, but there's the butterfly and the bee and little pieces of them. So we'll see. There's just a cute little sign. This looks like, this feels like it's pretty much ready to go. So, I'm going to carefully place it over and do this side. Very carefully. Oh, that's kind of wet, so I don't want to set it on that. I am going to set it down on just a softer surface, just in case any of it is still a little tacky and I don't hit all the different places of it. I'm going to be really careful with it. Alright. So, and I could trim off like more around the bird if I wanted. I can eventually get to that. Alright, so these are the words. I'm trying not to move the bird around too much so it doesn't wiggle at the back. And on this side I was going to do the regular white, so not the frost that has the glitter, but just a pure chalk white. Now I'll go back to using my little mini squeegee. Okay, but first I'm going to stir this up. And put a big glob on there because it's got a lot of, so the letters are what's going to show up in red. Everything else is going to be white because the letters are holding on to what's on the background. just scrape off all my little excess, and then all I have to do is stick the wings on, and I'm done. You can see as I'm pulling it up. Okay, I like the bright white better than the frost, definitely. So I probably will end up putting the stencil back on the side and putting doing it in bright white, just because I like the bright white with the candy apple red better than, so like you can see how the white really pops on the red, where the shimmer really didn't pop too much, which is fine. I could just go over it again. It gives it a different look between the two. Yeah, I did notice the other day I had some silver ink on my arms. It's like, oops, my bad. Okay, so none of the silver really came off in that. But I do need to put my little blue wing on here. So it's now dry. So first I need to pull off the sticky square, put it on the wing. It's super sticky. And then I gotta get the little white piece up, which is when it helps to have fingernails, which I do have. And stick my little wing on. So, got my little yellow bird with the wing, and the other side is blue. So I do put it on the dowel. I think it'll look cute. It's half blue, half yellow. Awesome. Right. A little birdie back there for now. And so I just need to finish my cardinal. I do have more birds, so I'll probably do one in like blue for a bluebird, obviously. So then I kind of just, I think I'm going to do the red wing on this side, just so it stands out more, and then the polka dot on this side. But I'm not putting the polka dot on yet, or this one, because I want to be able to lay it flat so I can put the white on here instead of the silver frost. So I'm just going to leave him like that for now. Do have a little bit of red left on here. I can see different areas that I touched with my fingers, so I'll just touch him up a little bit. All set. Right. So as you can see back here, I've got my little red bird, my bluebird, which is half blue, half white. Half blue, half white, half blue, half yellow. And that's all I've got. This will be for my little wings later. And I'll show you the finished product of those later, guys. Alright, I'm going to sign off. Have fun. I will be back on tomorrow sometime, probably during the day. And you'll see me. Oops. Night.